The accidental sinking of a boat strands a millionaire businessman, his wife, and a former employee on an island. Businessman Jack is on a pleasure trip with his partner Jennifer and some other friends. They are all going out on a large, luxurious yacht where the captain introduces the crew by showing Manny as a helper and a good connoisseur of fishing in the region. The girls are excited by the size of the boat and Manny's presence. While Manny is picking up some suitcases, he is approached by his companion, who demands to talk to him, very angrily. While everyone on the boat is watching them, the argument becomes big enough, causing Manny to take a very rude attitude, causing the companion to leave there wishing and emanating bad energies and things to everyone. During the argument, Jack almost goes over to Manny to stop him, but is stopped by his friends so that he doesn't get involved. During the night on the boat, Jack tries to be nice to Manny, offering to buy him a drink to forget what happened, but Manny prefers to keep quiet and continues serving them. Elsewhere that night, Manny's companion decides to perform a ritual to strengthen her desire that Manny's life should not be good, and she takes the opportunity to cast the spell on some of the boat's crew as well. The next morning, while Manny is serving some people, Jack isn't satisfied with the service on the yacht, and the captain goes to try to resolve the problem with Manny, but they end up arguing because Manny believes he is being provoked by Jack, and the captain, not believing it, asks him to leave at the next port. Manny, upset by the situation, decides to leave the yacht as soon as possible, taking his diving mask and pocket knife, and on the way out, without realizing it, throws a rag that ends up falling into the stove. Before long, the fire begins to spread throughout the boat, causing everyone to abandon ship on the high seas. Jennifer manages to reach the edge of a beach with a lot of effort, and there she waits for someone to appear alive, and for a moment she sees a man in the sea. She tries hard to bring him to the edge. When she succeeds, suddenly Manny appears trying to save the captain's life, but unfortunately he doesn't succeed. Jennifer asks if Manny has seen anyone else, asking for Jack, but he tells her that it's a small island and that he hasn't seen anyone apart from her. Tired from the day, they warm up that windy, cold night. The next day, Manny tries to go fishing while Jennifer sleeps. When she wakes up, she realizes that there is a grave made for the captain. Worried about the situation, she asks if anyone is going to pick them up. Manny tells her that probably no one will pick them up for weeks, and that because they live in a place like that, they should build a shelter because that's the only way they'll be able to stay there any longer. He soon goes after palm leaves so that he can put them on branches, and so their relationship grows closer as time goes by. The next day, Manny goes around the island to see if he can find anyone or anything, but he doesn't find anything. Jennifer complains of pain and blisters on her feet because she's been walking barefoot and isn't used to it, so Manny invites him to go for a swim on the beach before it gets dark so he can cool down and clean his wounds. During the swim, the conversation turns to the argument Manny had with his partner and why he acted that way towards her. And Manny explains that the relationship hasn't been easy because she's been treating him badly and sometimes tries to make him believe she's pregnant, demanding to get married soon. So Jennifer suspects that she's not a virgin, and the conversation becomes more intense as Jennifer doesn't share her personal life openly, and soon Manny says that she looks even more like Jack, her husband, who, because he has money, feels entitled to be better than everyone else. And after being called stupid, he retorts by saying that they only survived in that place because he will feed and look after her. That night they sleep without exchanging words, and it's only the next day, when Manny goes fishing, that Jennifer decides to talk to him, saying that she doesn't want to fight or be angry with him, so they get closer and relax about their disagreement. Manny makes a spear and manages to catch a lobster, but when he returns he finds Jack badly injured on the coral reef. Jennifer welcomes him, overjoyed that he's still alive, but because he's down and out of energy, he quickly falls asleep. When Jack wakes up, he sees Jenny and Manny very relaxed trying to catch a crab, and decides not to disturb them. When the two approach, they are surprised that Jack has managed to build a fire. Jennifer asks him if anyone else survived, and Jack sadly asks her to change the subject. Manny and Jack can't be in the same place, because when Jack asks to borrow the knife to cut the fish, Manny just says that she wants to keep the feel of the blade as she's already blind. To make Jack realize how nice Manny has been to her, Jennifer tells him that he did everything there, that if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be doing so well. Jack retorts by telling her that he's probably already made the most of being with her. Jennifer thinks it's silly and goes to shower. Soon afterwards, Jack apologizes for his childish judgment and goes to the sea to relax and clean himself up. Later, Jack, trying to get something to drink from the coconuts, touches on a delicate subject with her, questioning why he had the glasses and the knife, thinking it strange that the boat had caught fire and only he had them. But Jennifer pays no attention to Jack's thoughts. Just behind them, Manny returns from fishing, saying that he hasn't been able to catch anything because the water is murky and the reef is rough, so he can't do anything on his own. Jack then offers Jennifer support, even though she doesn't want to go. At that moment, the most important thing is to have food, so Jennifer goes along. Before leaving, Jack expresses his feelings because he can't mourn his lost friends, because only Manny has a knife, and he really believes that he tried to romance her, and that makes him uncomfortable. Once again, Jennifer cuts her off, asking her to be upset. Manny and Jennifer go out to sea together to try their hand at fishing. When they return, they find the captain's grave open. Jack has taken him out so that he can wear his shoes and hat, and he has also moved the cabin so that Manny can't be near it. This angers Jennifer, which makes Jack think that she really likes him, but Jennifer ends up ignoring it because she still thinks Jack's thoughts are silly. When Jenny goes to talk to Manny about what's bothering Jack, Manny understands and shows that he wants to have something with Jennifer, joking about being accused of desiring her. When Jack arrives to eat together, he reveals that there was a knife in the captain's things. Jennifer brings up a subject to break the ice, saying that Manny did civil engineering for 2 years, but Jack is so stressed by the situation that he ends up making fun of it, which annoys Manny, and soon the two of them get into a fight. Manny, in the power of knowing how to do things on the island and being able to survive by feeding them, tells them that their money is worth nothing. The insults only increase when Jack says that if they are found, Manny will have no life left, and Manny concludes by saying that they'd better pray that they are found, because their lives there will be hell if it depends on him. Jennifer is distraught, saddened by the situation. Jack and Jennifer spend all day trying to hunt and fish, and they can't catch anything to feed them. Manny, on the other hand, catches fish and feeds near them. Soon after, Jack goes to the coral reefs to try and catch something. Jennifer approaches Manny. Then Manny offers her some food, but Jennifer says she can't eat because that would be a betrayal to Jack. Even so, Manny offers, promising not to tell Jack anything. Jennifer is really tempted, but doubts it. Then Jack reveals that he wouldn't say anything, even if they kissed, because ever since he saw her, he had wanted to, even though she didn't think it was fair to have heard that. She eats a bit of food, and as she leaves, she asks him for a bit to eat on a stick, and thanks him with a kiss on the cheek. While Jack is in the corals trying his best to bring back food, he only manages to carry 2 small fish in his pocket. And to light the fire again, Jack lights a cigarette and then picks up a stick and ends up realizing that there are fish remains, suspecting Jennifer, but she manages to lie well, saying that she stole a piece while Manny wasn't there. While Jack and Jenny are trying to catch something on the beach, Jack notices that the fire has gone out and immediately suspects Manny, going up to him and accusing him of stealing the fire. Soon a fight breaks out when Jack puts out Manny's fire with sand. The two of them fight and Jack continues to insult Manny, saying that he was to blame for the boat because he did it so he could be with Jenny, and then leaves, taking Manny's fish. The next day, Jack steals the diving goggles, and when Manny notices, he goes out to sea to fight with Jack. Jennifer tries to stop him by saying that he just wants food, but at that moment, the fact that she is so close to Manny, pulling and grabbing at him, makes them fall apart and they can't hold on to their desire for each other. When the fire dies down, they decide not to tell Jack anything. When Jack comes back all excited about having managed to catch the fish, Jennifer just tells him that he shouldn't have taken the glasses and that Manny was mad with rage. Soon Jack doesn't understand why he isn't upset now and doesn't believe Jenny, discovering that they were together just by looking at her, who can't gesture any differently. Jack is very upset by the situation, not knowing exactly what to do and asking her if she knows what she wants. Jennifer is completely shaken, speechless, just crying. Then, without rationalizing it, he picks her up and takes her to Manny, as if she were a fish. He soon isolates himself and tries to live alone on the island, surviving on what he can, while Jennifer seeks him out to try and talk things over. The days go by, and Jenny gets closer and closer to Manny, and even though he's worried about Jack, Manny does his best to make her forget about him and change her mood, and she succeeds, even if it's short-lived, because she knows that Jack can see her from afar. During one of his dives in the sea, with an improvised viewfinder he made, he manages to find a lifeboat on the other side of the island, which, even though it is punctured, he pulls with great effort to the edge of the beach. When he gets there, the two of them try to help him, but Jack stops them, not wanting to share it with them. He tries to fix the boat, and Jennifer goes to talk to him when Manny goes fishing. Jennifer doubts that he can make it work and tells him that it could be dangerous and he could end up killing himself, but Jack is completely shaken by the situation and really believes that he can get out of there and leave the two of them on the island. When Manny returns, Jack tries to persuade him to get angry at her for going to talk to him, saying that she tried something so that she could go with him on the boat, but that doesn't work with Manny. So Jennifer and Manny head out into the water to make out, while Jack watches from afar. And there the two of them come up with a plan to get the boat the next morning. When Jack leaves to go fishing, they take advantage of the queue and take the boat with everything Jack had prepared and go miles away from the beach. Meanwhile, Jack spots the two of them, knowing that it will sink, as it was set to sink as a trap for the two of them as a form of revenge, and then burns down the cabin where they were sleeping. Jenny and Manny are left adrift at sea and make a great effort to swim back to the island. When they get back, Jack spots Jenny first and waits for Manny with a spear, which he fires when he tries to escape, hitting him in the back, falling into the sea wounded. But when Jack gets close, he manages to hit him with a rock and get completely away. At night, Jack prepares to catch Manny this time, making Jennifer the bait, trapped in his domain. Manny lurks and waits for a moment to approach. When Jack is distracted by talking to Jenny, he appears from behind with a piece of wood. The two clash. Jenny tries to get free at all costs. When she does, she helps Manny win, and Jack is stopped when he rolls over and leans against the fire, needing to get to the water immediately. They wake up healing from their wounds and determined to fight for their lives. That day, Jack prepares himself with more spears to catch Manny, and soon looks for them to attack, and that day Manny begins to feel ill, unable to run because of the pain from the blow. He and Jennifer try to hide in a tree, but Jack manages to follow the tracks and find them. Manny falls to the ground trying to dodge the spear, and fights on the ground. But even though Jennifer tries to avoid the situation, Manny is predestined due to the macabre spell that is exted, and there he is completely without strength, not supporting the weight of a stone, losing his balance and falling on the tip of the spear. After a long time on the island, one morning Jennifer is woken up by a family of fishermen who were making their rounds of the area, and she is rescued, taking Jack's lighter with her, not mentioning Jack's existence to the people who rescue her, leaving him there to survive on his own. Don't forget to keep supporting the channel. Subscribe, like the video, leave your opinion in the comments, or continue here by choosing one of the videos on the screen. That's it. See you next time.